Look at them. You're getting a standing ovation. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. Welcome to the Moth. I am Corey. What is your name? What's her name? Yeah, it is. And I'm so happy to have you here tonight on this rainy, wonderfully rainy. I know, I am excited when it rains, aren't you? Haven't we been through enough drought, right? And yet, I ask myself, I'm like, I'm so glad it's raining. Is it enough? Like, I get to that point, I'm like, is it enough that now it's not a drought year? But no, keep it coming. I love it. Let's see, we just had a lot has happened since we were last year. We had the holidays. We had Shen Yun. You all saw, right? Did you guys know it was happening? It was happening, you guys. Shen Yun happened. It's too late. If you didn't see it, I don't know how you didn't see it. It was, we all try, right? So many things. It's an exciting time for me. My son is getting bar mitzvahed in 6.5 weeks. Yes. I don't know if you can tell. I've been whitening. Really? Can you tell at all? I don't know. I tried the strips. I don't know. I went on a family vacation. A lot of pictures were taken, and I saw the wine teeth, and I'm like, the bar mitzvah, there's going to be some pictures, so I'm going to take care of that. So I'm doing it artificially, which is great. Before we get going too far, I want to do some thanks. Let's thank our media sponsor, KQED 88.5, for sponsoring, being our media sponsor tonight, as well as our hosts here at the Freight and Salvage. Let's thank the Freight and Salvage. We love it here. And thank you for coming on a weird night, right? For those of you who are regulars, you might, like a Tuesday in the middle of the month. This is unusual, but I don't know. We'll see if maybe there's a slightly different Moth Story Slam energy because of that. Who knows? So let's see. This is what's going to happen for those of you who are maybe new to our world. This is a story slam. So what that means is that people came in the theater, just like you, and if they wanted to tell a story, they had to put their name in what we call the hat, which is shaped like a bag. It would be a lovely, sort of a saggy hat if you were to actually sport it that way. And if you wanted to tell a story, you'd put your name in the hat before the show. And then what we will do is throughout the show, we will pick them one at a time, and those storytellers will be invited here onto our wonderful stage to tell a 5-minute story on the topic of intentions. So we do not pre-select the storytellers. We don't know what the stories are. All we know are a few things, and what we do know also is that there are judges, and the judges will be judging based on certain criteria. And so I'll tell you what those criteria are right now. The judges will be looking, first of all, for the fact that it is a story. That might seem obvious, but to some people it's not. Some people might come up here and do a stand-up routine or tell a poem or something like that. But the Moth is really a forum for true stories told with no notes. So we are looking for a story that has a beginning, middle, and end. They will also look for it to be true, not a fictional story. We don't really have the level of fact checkers that the networks have needed to employ in the last couple of years, but trust me when I say we can generally tell when it's lying or made up. So try to keep it true, or at least do a really good job hiding it better than some people do. Not naming any names. And third, we want it to be on topic. The topic tonight being intentions. Intentions, as you might imagine, is kind of a broad topic. So they don't even have to say the word intentions. We'll generally infer if it's an intentional story about an intention of some kind. You can say it. I'm not saying like change your story, don't say the word intention. You can. It's not required, in other words. And finally, there is a time limit. So the general time limit for Moth Stories is 5 to 6 minutes. And we have a very handy timekeeping way of letting you know, because you're not going to be up here and we're not putting a clock. So our wonderful host, Megan Jones, is going to let us know. So when you get to 5 minutes, into the telling of your story. It generally starts when you start to tell your story. You'll hear this helpful sound, right? It's like the slowing down of like time to do that, but it's not time to slow down. It's time to speed up because now it's time to get done with the story. It's kind of like your 1 minute warning bell, because when you get to 6 minutes, which is like the time limit, you're going to hear, it's like the Roadrunner has arrived and it's time to zippity doo-dah out of Dodge. I'm going to just mix up all the metaphors there. But anyway, so when you get to 5 minutes, you'll hear nice evenly paced banana. When you get to 6 minutes, you're going to get into the crazy town. So that means you're done, wrap it up. And we do tell the judges that at their discretion, they are welcome to deduct points even if they go over the limit. So let that be a shame warning to you, long talkers. No, I don't want to shame you. We just want to have great stories that last about the same. So there's equality, right? Great. So that's the rules of the show. Now I try to think about the topic before I get here. And because bar mitzvahs are on my brain, that's been all I've been thinking about lately is my son's bar mitzvah. And you know, bar mitzvah, of course, is a time, I was thinking about it, it's a weird thing, considering that there aren't a lot of times in the life of a child that you would want to invite your family to do a lot of like things, right? Like I think about it, like I might invite like, you know, immediate family, but like I'm inviting like cousins that I haven't seen in a while and extended family and friends that live out of town and all these things. And so there's going to be this, you know, sort of like community that's coming together to really celebrate my son in the way that I had a bar mitzvah when I was his age, and it was a very special time for me. But it also made me fear, because the last bar mitzvah I went to was a disaster, like a personal disaster. I went to my cousin Mark's son Joel's bar mitzvah in Los Angeles, and just like the one we're having, a lot of people have been invited, a lot of family, a lot of community, and on the night before the bar mitzvah, on the Friday night, we have a dinner where all the people get together, and you know, my parents are there and their parents, everybody's there. It's a lot of family, and I like to take pictures. I'm a photographer, not a real. I have a camera that has like lenses. That's like I'm not an iPhone photographer or a vertical video taker. I'm not any of those things. I brought my good camera, and I'm taking pictures at this party because I see family and I want to capture this. I want to remember it. I want to record it. And at one point, I am taking a picture with a big, like, wide-angle glass lens on my camera, and my daughter kind of pops up right here and says, "Hey, Daddy," like something, I don't remember exactly the words, and all I remember is that I, like, snap back into being a dad, and I'm like, "Hey!" And in doing the hey move, her tooth, her front adult, grown in, 8 years old tooth, was smashed by Dad's camera lens. At which point, I am now staring, and it's one of those things where, like, it doesn't really hurt right away when you get something like that happen, and you don't know that you've been hurt other than the sound that it made and the look on the face of the person who just did it to you. And I go like this, and I see immediately that there is blood, and it is scary, and I have one terrifying thought in my head, which is that if I am going to smash the tooth of my daughter, the one person that I would want more than anyone else to be here would be my father, who is my dentist. And lucky for me, I was at a bar mitzvah, and I said, "Daddy." And my dad, who was sitting like as close as you guys, like came over and immediately like snapped into action and whisked the patient away, while I could essentially sob. I didn't really sob. I did the internal version of that, which is just anger and guilt and fear and what have I done to my child and what have I done to this event that I have ruined. And my dad did the number one thing that if you ever are in this situation, I have also known this growing up with a children's dentist as a father, give your child ice cream. ice cream, really, because it's cold, it numbs it, and then they feel happy because they're eating ice cream. So calmed her down, got through the night, got through the bar mitzvah, got through 6 more months until our trip back to my parents' house, where my father built a very nice fake tooth for my daughter. And so all I can pray, I guess I got to pray a lot of things at a bar mitzvah, but all I can pray right now is that I never need to say during my own child's event, Daddy, thank you very much. Thank you. It's a true story.